Hey everyone, Alex here from redlemonclub.com, and today I wanted to talk about money. At Red Lemon Club, I do not shy away from money-related issues. I think that the pursuit of money is nothing to be ashamed of. I think we need to be pushing for it. I think we need to be making as much as we can whilst maintaining our passion for what we do, whilst understanding that there are going to be challenges and things that we don't like about the work that we do. That's all part of the full package of doing what you love. Money is a big aspect in there. And I wanted to talk about the sort of money versus time paradigm that we're playing with, that we're juggling with as creative product and service providers. Now, a lot of us create creative services. We provide creative services for people, whether that's illustration or graphic design or logo design or website design. We create artistic design-related creative services that people pay for and use in their own marketing and their own branding and presentation and things like that, and whatever else they're using it for. They might also be being entertained by it. But ultimately, we're creating a service for people, and we are exchanging our own time for money in that respect. And one of the things we need to sort of keep reminding ourselves of for when it comes to making more money is that we need to be frugal, not with our money, but with our time, okay? We need to be frugal with our time. We don't want to be wasting our important time, because the more time we have, the more we can put into our own passions and things like that, of course, but also putting more time into making more money so that the business becomes more and more sustainable. We start having an excess of money in the form of profit that we can then use to support our families, obviously, and make the world a better place. So time is very important. We have a limited amount of it. So we want to make sure that we are frugal. We are stingy with our time. That's very, very important. So if you're spending all your time providing a service for people, obviously you are sort of you're limited. You are running out of time. You haven't got much to play with beyond the creation of the services. So you want to, at every step of the way through your career, be thinking of ways to productize what you're making. So I would say that the first step in sort of moving towards a more time-rich setup, if you know what I mean. You want to be creating more products and things and ways of making money that do not involve your direct time exchange. Because if for example you're an illustrator and you spend your entire working day creating illustrations, you are losing out on the opportunity of working on other things at that time. And that's fine if you like to illustrate the whole time, but we want to be sort of scaling up. And that means that we want to be creating things that we can exchange money, we can get money for without spending too much time on it. That can be in the form of a product or a design asset that we create for the internet that people want to buy, say on Creative Market, like a brush or something that people want to buy, a digital product. So we want to, first of all, there's a sort of spectrum to move through. When we first start out, we want to get good at the service that we provide. We don't want to skip the step unless we figured out a clever way to do that. But for most of us who provide a service, we want to get really good, become an expert at something quite niche, quite specialist. So that could be not only being an illustrator, but also like I did, I became pretty niche at bird's eye view map type scenes. With lots of little mini things like little houses and little trees in there. That became my kind of thing, and I would draw heavily from my geography degree to inform those illustrations and then create those illustrations for happy clients. And I became very good at that. So that was the first sort of step in your monetization of your creative businesses and moving towards having more time to then turn that into other products. So you want to get good at the service, okay? Become an expert at what you do, and then you'll get to a point where you can start thinking about, okay, how can I turn this into a product, an asset that I can exchange for money without exchanging my time. In my case, I created a book. I had learned so much as an illustrator about self-promotion, using the internet, how to get clients, all this stuff that I was learning, and I wasn't using it. So that's an example of some value that can be taken from the process of becoming really good, becoming an expert at what you do. So I created a course, I created a book that I would sell through the Red Lemon Club site, and I would make an additional stream of income that way. And I've since created and written other books that I sell on Amazon and sell through the site that sit there while I sleep, they make money. So it's not all about passive income, because it's often still needs to be promoted, but you're still exchanging less of your time for more money, if that makes sense. You're creating more streams. And this is something that you want to be working towards as well. So think about how you can take what you are building as a service provider. What can you do with the skills that you're learning and what you and the value that you're creating through that process? What can you do to turn that into a product that sits there without you having to, and earns money without you having to do anything? So it could be that you make a book out of it. It could be that you create a sort of digital resource or a set of courses or an online sort of recorded workshop. Teaching people how you learn that skill and how you got good at it. Everyone who's creative has something that they can teach to someone else who's further back down the line, that you can very easily these days take your phone and film whatever it is you're doing. You can film yourself talking about it and teaching it, or you can film the screen and just explain to people. You don't have to be a pro at teaching, so don't worry about being completely pro. All you need to do is be a few steps ahead of the people that want it. And then build an email list or sell it through your website, or sell it through another service provider like Udemy or some other teaching platform. And that way you are monetizing your skills without having to exchange your own time for it. And let's go back to this idea of being frugal with your time as a reminder. We want to be frugal with our time, which means trying to productize all the skills that we have as much as we can. Hopefully that's food for thought. So as I said, that's something that I'm always moving towards. So I don't even illustrate anymore. I'm actually coaching people how to market themselves and how to become more self-confident and things like that. And I do that through the writing and stuff like that. So actually, I'm definitely not an expert on that yet, but I have done things that have definitely helped in the form of saving my time and creating more money through different income streams. And I think as creatives, we don't want to neglect that avenue that needs to be opening up for a lot of us. We don't want to necessarily spend all our lives exchanging time, our valuable time, for money, because there's always a limited resource on that. There's always a cap on that. We want to think creatively, because after all, we're creative people. Let's think creatively about how we can increase that ceiling that we've created. Increase the ceiling of how much we can earn for the amount of time we put in, and that requires you to create assets or courses or special products that earn money on their own, or earn money in a sort of scaled up way. So it might require you to do a lot of promotion, right, for a week, but then you could sell thousands of products at the end of that week's launch, for example. And you would not be exchanging directly your time for the money. So think about clever ways of productizing, if that's the right word, productizing your creative work and the things that you're learning. It's not necessarily the creative stuff. It could be stuff about marketing, whatever. There is a market out there for that. Don't think in a limited way. Think abundantly. There are people who would be willing to pay for the stuff that you've learned in a product form. So be frugal with your time. Don't get too carried away with exchanging too much time for money. You want to always be scaling up and thinking about how to productize stuff. Hopefully that made sense, chaps and chapesses. Go to redlemonclub.com to read some of the articles there. Go to @redlemonclub on Instagram to follow my drawings over there, and make sure that you check into the redlemonclub.shop, where you can buy plenty of Red Lemon Club related merchandise. If you've got any questions that I can answer in a future video, feel free to comment below, or if you've just got some feedback, let me know. Email me at alex@redlemonclub.com. I'll be happy to respond. See you guys.